I've managed to drag myself away from playing Animal Crossing and Final Fantasy VII again for another look at some of the anime starting to air this season. I'm going to be looking at Friday's anime today, all airing over at Funimation. And a huge mix it is too, from some old stuff coming back, and some new stuff, and some completely weird stuff. Some of it will appeal to me, some of it I already know will not. But will any of it appeal to you? Well, I don't know, you'll have to find out for yourself. So join me, because this is a 2020 spring anime preview, from a different perspective. The girls of the Imperial Combat Review are back again, as Sega take us once more into the world of Sakura Wars, this time in a new anime, confusingly called Sakura Wars. Although in Japan it's called New Sakura Wars, but Sakura Wars is back, bringing with it a brand new cast of characters, a brand new animation type, and a brand new storyline. Now for those of you who aren't aware, Sakura Wars has been an anime for quite a long time. I think the original Sakura Wars game came out in the 90s, and there's been animes pretty much ever since. But we've not had one in absolute years. The whole story about it is, the Imperial Combat Review is a cover for an elite military unit, piloting mechs, steampunk mechs, called Konbu, fight off demons or demi-demons, or the exact nature of it escapes me right now. I know that I've seen it, ages ago, but I'm talking about 10 years ago at least. I've seen the last Sakura Wars. The games haven't really come out that much in the West. One of the games came up for the Wii over here. I do own it, it's somewhere covered down to my right. I never really played it fully. They are very much just JRPGs, more tactical elements than the latest one, I think. There are some dating elements in there, but it's all a load of fun really, isn't it? The main gimmick of Sakura Wars is it involves loads of girls fighting in mechs, and them dancing on stage, performing the Sakura Review, or the equivalent of that in their world. Now one of the first things which will jump out at you when looking at the new Sakura Wars series is the animation style. I mentioned it earlier, and this is immediately going to put off a lot of people. You see, with new Sakura Wars, I decided to go CG. Fully CG. CG animated characters, mechs, backgrounds, everything. Now for some people, that's okay. I mean, I don't mind it personally. I generally prefer traditional anime. When I say traditional, it's still computer animated, just not CG animated. But it doesn't turn me off. But for a lot of people, the sight of CG characters is an instant no. If that's you, then you can skip it. For me though, I don't mind it too much. And I'm looking more at the characters, the storyline, the plot. And I will be honest, this is very much Sakura Wars. There's no real difference here. I mean, I'm pleased to see Sumire still in the anime, which was always my favourite one of the original bunch. But the new leads look interesting. The new character called Sakura Amamiya seems to have picked up straight where the original Sakura left off. Now recommending Sakura Wars is an interesting one because this one does not require any previous knowledge of a series, so it's a good entry point. Having previous knowledge does help you a bit because you know the general setting and what's going to happen, but it's not critical. And not much really happens in the first episode. I mean, Sakura Wars stuff happens. Demons come on, they fight them, they dance and sing on stage, and the much loved main character guy brings home a Russian girl, of which all the other characters are immediately jealous of. If you've seen Sakura Wars before, you know whether or not you're going to like it. If you don't like CG anime, skip this one, you'll be put off way too much. If you're not sure, give it a try. I reckon it's worth that at least. You can find it over at Funimation. I say this every single year, and this is still true to this day. Some anime are just not made for me. Such as the case with Bungo and Alchemist, Gears of Judgment. An anime clearly designed with Fujoshi at heart. When I say designed, this one is actually based on a mobile game, which again doesn't surprise me that much at all because it's another mobile game adaptation. We've been having a whole lot of those recently. This is just the latest. And it really does show as well because you got some nondescript bad guys attacking people, and the heroes come and save the day. This time the heroes are, well, I will be honest, I don't actually know. Because the anime was actually very hard to follow. I actually think it relies a lot of knowledge of the game, which takes me right out of the equation, because one thing, I wouldn't be able to play the game. Second thing, I wouldn't want to play the game. So that's like, yeah, mess me out. All I remember about the anime is there are pretty boys wearing togas fighting bad guys called Taint in books. his magical transformation, and apparently their lead is a cat. I was expecting a female lead given the audience, but cat's good as well. And I think the whole premise of it is mysterious tainted demons are attacking literary works, and our main characters have to go and fight them. And other than that bit of premise at the very end, the entire rest of it was just based on this one character in this toga-filled world where he had to run home to save his best friend from being killed by an emperor, only to be told to kill him himself. Again, I've no idea what the story was, why he was doing that. But the story didn't really explain that much. I know he was at his sister's wedding, but that's all I really know. Now, if you are interested in watching Bungo and Alchemist, after listening to my description of it, well, what the hell's wrong? But yeah, you might be interested. It's very much pretty boys fighting. If you like that sort of stuff, feel free to watch it over at Funimation. I won't be. Next up, we have an anime set in what is clearly a British setting. I mean, just look at the amount of trash everywhere. Look at the amount of trains they use, the cranes everywhere. And in fact, the main town is called Liverchester. Tells me this is basically the north of England, or what they call North England anyway. Because let's be honest, to foreigners, England is London, Manchester and Liverpool. Nowhere else exists. Listeners is about a young lad called Echo. Listeners is about a young man called Echo. Listeners is about a young lad called Echo. I'm going to start that pun there. But his name is Echo. He is a scrap hunter. I don't describe what he is. He basically salvages from scrap every day. He's looking for interesting pieces to add to his collection. And he's really interested in music and players in particular. Because apparently players are these super powerful beings which can fight off the bad guys, the evil earless. This is very much music based, so yeah. Earless, players, Echo. He's really interested in players and the whole music scene behind it. But of course, being in a dead-end town with no real prospects, what is he going to do? Run across a girl in a scrapyard? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's going to find a young girl in a scrapyard and take her home. A young girl turns out to be a player. Now, she doesn't really have a name. He calls her Mew at the end of it, as in the Greek letter Mu. And they do end up fighting together some Marie Earless. Pretty good fight, actually. I love the mech design. It's very much speaker. He takes with him an amp to amplify her abilities. He basically jacks into her with an amp. There's a jack off joke somewhere there, but I'll let you make that one for yourself. Not much more about that of only leaving town. But the whole premise of the show reminds me a whole lot of Eureka 7. And not just the character design, the whole premise of a young lad from a dead-end town meeting a mysterious girl with superpowers, changing his life, and going out and saving the world. Don't know if that's what this is going to be, but it feels the same as Eureka 7 to me. Now, Eureka 7 was okay for a while. It got dug down towards the ending, but we don't know what the ending listener is going to be. Is it going to be some kind of giant concert where Jimmy Stonefree and his mecha appear? Yeah, because that's the thing from the description I just read, so I'd said that here as well. All in all, it's going to be an interesting travel. I'm going to give it a few more episodes. I mean, I'm not completely sold about it yet. Mew's an interesting character. Echo's a bit okay, I suppose. The premise sounds interesting, so yeah, I'll give it another go. If you don't want to watch this one's also over at Funimation. Now, as I start watching Wave, Listen to Me, I begin wondering what it is I'm watching here, because I'm watching a woman read from a script in the middle of a forest being attacked by a bear. It means she's not trying to run away from a bear or trying to escape or save herself in some manner. She's facing a bear, reading a rant. And that's what it is literally a rant. As the episode progresses, we find out that she's not actually in the forest. She's in a radio studio because she is recording a radio program. She's a radio presenter, and she spends her days ranting on the radio. Not as in political ranting or motivated ranting, just venting is probably the best way of saying it. Venting her frustrations to the world. And the world listens. Now, Minoru Koda didn't start off as a radio presenter. She actually started off as a waitress in a restaurant. Except that when she's waitressing, she suddenly hears herself on the radio because The night before, she was out drinking after being stood up by this loser guy, and she was ranting drunkenly to just anybody who would listen. Now, one of those people was a radio presenter who recorded what she was saying and was so taken by it and so encapsulated by the story, he shared it on the radio. That would never actually happen because she could sue for all his worth, but instead of suing, she left her job, just marched down the station and demanded to see this guy. Rather than explaining it to her, the guy said, "Okay, go on here, tell us your side of the story." And so she does. And she continues ranting and raving and venting her frustrations. Now, Waveless to me is a very, very interesting story and very, very interesting anime, but it is going to live and die by its main character and the acting bit behind her. Our main character, Minare, is a very, very strong woman and a very, very interestingly voiced character. I'll tell you what, the voice actress who plays her deserves all the money she's going to get for this role, because bloody hell she has to speak a lot and rant a lot. She does a good job as well. If you don't like talking anime, then this is obviously not for you. But for me, I'm going to give it another shot. If you do want to watch Wave Listen to me, you can find me swearing over at Funimation. Today was very much a day of maybe, of a free anime I'm not too sure about, and one anime which I'm going to skip because it doesn't really appeal to me, but it might appeal to you. Do any of them appeal to you but not me? Let me know in the comments, and join me next time when I look at 4 more new anime. Well, thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.